This is channel 146, and today we're going to be talking about ancient Greece. I'm your host, Alexis Abados, on What Did They Do? Now, watermills, you're asking. What do they do? Well, they were first invented in the 3rd century BC. Sadly, the exact inventor is not officially recorded. In ancient Greece, the watermill was used to process grain. Now that times have changed, this can be done by automated machines. Yet, in developing countries, people can't easily obtain these. Meaning that in developing countries, they still make use of the watermill in all of its glory. The mill has been used for thousands of years, but today they're not nearly as prevalent. Have you ever had to take some medicine? I'm sure you have. Well, did you know that the Western style of medicine was from Greece? I bet you didn't. Hippocrates is the man that created this medicine. He's the one that saved you from the sniffles so many times. Exactly when this all happened is unknown to me. It is specifically called Western medicine because thousands of years ago there were herbal medicines from the Stone Age. It is also called Western since it's the type used in the western side of the world. Democracy. Personally, my favorite government, mostly since it's from Greece, but that doesn't matter. Just coming in from an ancient Greek scroll. This might come as a shock to you, but democracy didn't fully derive from Greece. They just got the word out there. They're just making people aware. Obviously, it's still used in modern-day America, but it has barely changed after all that time. Odometer. Bet you've never heard that in your life. Well, you've seen it for sure, since an odometer tracks the distance traveled, so that be in a car or an electronic watch. These will most likely be used in a cart with this big old contraption on the inside, which would be dragged along to measure the distance. Nowadays, an extremely advanced version of this model will be used to make GPS distances. Coming back to the topic of government, well, at least the buildings. You know about the White House and all those other government buildings? Well, their style of architecture is taken from the Greeks. Yeah, those pillars and bright white buildings are from us. Every building in Greece would look like this. For example, the Parthenon. This style of architecture had been used for a very long time, until the modern era struck. Those government buildings are some of the only recent buildings in that style. Waking up in the morning, the best part of the day. Unless you don't get up. Well, that sucks then. Back in ancient Greece, a man by the name of Ctesibius created the alarm clock. It would be set to activate at specific time intervals. When this would go off, a series of pebbles or water would drop down onto a gong for a set period of time. These would be much bigger than your digital alarm clock on your nightstand. They would also be quite expensive for the average person. The first design was obviously changed over thousands of years, but this alarm clock was somewhat revolutionary. Art, if crafted well, can tell a magnificent story. The Greeks were the first people to ever create realistic statues of people. They were giant, perfectly detailed pieces of art. Today, they're starting to fall apart. If you see them, you usually see that their nose is missing or other small parts. Today, we've expanded off these ideas and made even crazier and more ambitious works. Well, that's all we got for you today, folks. This is Alexis Abados, channel 146, signing off. I hope you learned something new about Greece and how they've affected us on What Did